Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Beers by the Ivy. Good to be back on long form content. I've been focused so much on short form content recently, but so much information about Cubs and college football has piled up just in my brain and on my note sheet that I want to talk about, everything to do with the Cubs right now before the deadline, what I think they should do, Owen, Cassie, pitching, just overall strategy, and then I also want to talk a little bit about college football. On this channel in the summer, we focus on Cubs baseball, and then towards the fall, see where the Cubs are at, but I'll definitely jump into, once again, college football schematics. If anyone was around last college football season, especially during the playoffs, this channel got really hot in terms of our predictions and my schematic breakdown of predicting what's going to happen in the games. Probably helping people bet, but nonetheless, at least helping people enjoy the game and grow the sport of football that doesn't really need growing, but maybe the attention to detail of the sport needs growing. So let's jump into Cubs talk, and then we'll jump into some college football. Before we do, though, Sports World Chicago, my sponsor of the podcast. It's the store directly across the street from the main entrance of Wrigley Field with blue awnings. Sports World Chicago. Promo code Beers by the Ivy. Get yourself 10% off. My hats are going in that store, which I'm really excited about. Other news, though, my hats, I've been grinding getting my hats in the local stores of Wrigley Field. It's been a lot of ups, been some downs, but I think more ups recently. So first started with my hats being sold at a stand right outside the L, coming off the red line, right below the dugout, which is a bar right on the right. Bruce picked up my hats. So that's how it first started. Some of my hats in Wrigley. And then Wrigleyville Sports picked up my hats and started selling my hats, I think, a couple weeks ago. And we've been doing pretty good in that store. So shout out to everyone who bought a hat. Just utterly incredible. A couple of people coming up to me, too. It's just been a remarkable experience, to say the least. Actually, shockingly cool. And then, Clark Street Sports is picking up my hats August 1st. So things are going good. I mean, I'm doing my best to get the hat and the name brand out there for my merch. I got, obviously, the number 47 green hats. These are the Wrigley color, most popular. I got these netted hats. These just sold out, but these are my new ones. Super freaking comfortable. And, of course, I got my bucket hats, which I don't think I've shown the podcast, but essentially say Beers by the Ivy. They're more safari hats than bucket hats, but they're absolutely hilarious and awesome. All right, so shop.beers by the Ivy and get their hats, or you can get them at the store. But yeah, appreciate the support, everyone. But let's jump into the Cubs. All right, the big talk is like what we're going to do at the deadline, and that's the main focus, right? I mean, yeah, I can talk about how we, beat the Red Sox and then we lost to the Royals, but right now I think it's really aiming towards the end of July. So then it goes back to the question, what are we going to do at the deadline? And the number one thing for me is who are we going to trade at the deadline? And what do we need to get? Because what we need to get that's pretty much going to say what we have to trade at the deadline. Okay, if we're going to get an ace pitcher, like a number 1 or 2 guy, most likely we're going to have to trade Owen Casey. Okay, I put a lot of highlights and a lot of videos out on Owen Casey on my shorts and my TikToks and my Instagram, etc. I firmly, strongly believe we should not ever trade Owen Casey. Kid needs to get to the bigs. We need to see him in the bigs. And I think that's the number one thing that's been upsetting me this week was on Monday, PCA didn't play. On Tuesday, Tucker didn't play. They just came off the All-Star game. They didn't really get a break, so it makes sense that we give them a break, a day off. But why wasn't Owen Casey up there? It wasn't going to hurt his draft stock. You think if he goes 0 for 4, his first game in the bigs, it's going to affect his draft stock? No. But if he went 1 for 4, 2 for 4, 3 for 4, has a home run, could help his draft stock. So we had everything to gain. And for that kid, just getting him in the clubhouse, feeling comfortable, because we might need him if we don't trade him. We might need him to fill in for an injury. We might need him to fill in for a pinch hitter. Right? Seriously, like our bench right now is really not a solid bench. You're telling me Turner, the guy hasn't hit a ball all year. He's our first at bat in the playoffs. Like Birdie, like he's going to be our first at bat when we need a guy to freaking sub in. No, we got to get a bench somehow. We got to do something. And that something right now, I think, is in AAA. I mean, call me crazy. I mean, I wrote it down. I mean, Owen Casey's second in home runs in AAA. He's, I think, 16th in hits, 23rd in averages in the AAA ranks. Okay, the kid's smooth. He's a great defender. And I was talking to a guy on TikTok telling me he wasn't a good defender. I'm like, dude, watch his freaking highlights, man. He's got a great arm. I've seen him throw out 2 runners going to home from both right field and left field this year. So I think as a guy, if we're trading Owen Casey, it better be for an ace. And my opinion is it'd be great to have an ace, but we don't really need one. And nobody's talking about this right now in the Cubs universe, but that's why you listen to Beers by the Ivy. All right, that was so cocky, but I've been thinking about this. Okay. The bottom line is our pitching staff to start the season was damn good. You lose Justin Steele. He's our number one. You can make the argument it's him or Shota, but I think Steele is a little bit better than Shota, though I love Shota. Okay, so we got a 1 and 2, 1A, 1B. Okay, great. 2 pitchers go down that we thought we're gonna have big years this year. Tyon, right calf strain, due back in August, probably mid to late August. Okay, he'd be our third guy in the rotation. He's coming back for the playoffs, guys. He'll be back. He'll be back by the playoffs. All right, Javier Assad, left oblique injury. He's going to be back end of August, early September. Boom. 2 guys of the rotation. Right freaking there. Because the big problem right now is we don't have a 5th starter. Right? We've tried Ben Brown. He's been hot and cold, though I like him. I root for him. Ben Brown, get over the edge. Take this job. Have a little more intensity. And then he'll just start flaking out in the 4th. Jordan Wicks, same thing. He had a good, 2 years ago. He looked promising right now. He's up and down. Biggs to AAA. Chris Flexen. These guys that we keep trying to put in the 5th starting spot, not where it's at. Not where it is at. And I think the guy really keeping this pitching rotation afloat, obviously, is Matthew Boyd. Because Matthew Boyd, if you look at his career, he was kind of a journeyman a little bit. He had a lot of potential. People liked him, but he kept getting injured. And this year, the guy is staying afloat, and he's not getting injured, and he just made the damn All-Star game. All right, so he's the guy. If without him, oh God, we would be really hurting because he's a consistent, good starter. Okay, so my opinion is we don't need to trade our top prospect to get an ace because we have 2 guys coming back that can start or be in the rotation. So we can give up lesser assets to just get someone to fill in this 5th spot. Till then, and then we'll once everyone's back, then we'll look at our full rotation. Okay, that's my general spot. I think there's a pitcher AA named Jackson Wiggins. I believe we'll end up trading him, though he could be a starter for us down the road. I think that's the prospect I keep hearing. But at the end of the day, I'll trade pitching for pitching. It scares me when we got Kyle Tucker not signed, and then you're going to trade Owen Casey, and then you pretty much would be screwed. You would essentially have to restart the whole team because you either need Tucker out there or you need Owen Casey. Ideally, you got both. I want to see Kyle Tucker, I want to see PC at center, and I want to see Owen Casey in left field damn near starting next year. I know we got Hap, and I like Hap. I'm not anti-Hap. It's just we got I don't know. I just feel like that would be a badass outfield. That might be one of the best Cubs outfields of all time if Owen Casey pans out here. All right. So that's my main takeaway. Let's look at a couple other things here, just Cubs related. Matty Shaw. I think I was the first guy on the internet to be so pro Matt Shaw. I think I can crown that. I mean, I think from the get-go of spring training, I was talking I want this kid to play third. And I kept saying, we're not going to lose the World Series because of a rookie third baseman. All right? This kid I said that. I didn't even watch him really play third base. I was just like, I like the idea of having a rookie out there. It brings energy to the team. People root for him. It's team chemistry. People are working on him getting better at the position. Everyone's all in on improving his skills. Like there's something about that, having that rookie out there. And then I watched him play. This dude has intensity on third base we haven't had for so long. Honestly, probably since Chris Bryant. Actually, I would say right now, since Chris Bryant. He attacks the baseball. He doesn't fear big moments. On the field, but also at the plate. I mean, we saw the dude get benched. Came back. Got benched. Didn't start. Came in and pinch hit a home run on national television against Boston. We've seen this dude in the 9th inning make double plays, make 2 plays in a row. Like Matt Shaw, I got no problems with, and I definitely don't think we need a third baseman. Last 10 games, let's look at it. Some people don't look at last 10 games. I look at last 10 games. I want to know what's going on here right now. I don't really care what happened in May. I don't care what your stats were in May. Like, we're in July. What are we doing right now? Matt Shaw, what's his batting average right now? Last 10 games? 375. 375. How do you like me now? Now that I'm on my way. Toby Keith. All right, Carson Kelly. Batting average, last 10 games. 344. Pete Armstrong, 306. Nico Horner, 300. Dansby Swanson, you heard that right. What's he at? 263. Suzuki, 231. Ian Happ, 206. Justin Turner, 200. Michael Bush. That's a surprising about Michael Bush the last 10 games. 161. Kyle Tucker, 161. All right. Let's look at homers. Pete Armstrong with 4 home runs the last 10 games. Matt Shaw with 3 home runs. Carson Kelly with 2 home runs. Michael Bush with 2 home runs. That's why that Bush stat was interesting, because I was like, I'm pretty sure he's getting hits. Well, he's not getting hits. He's just getting home runs. All right. That's my big thing. We don't need to trade our key asset. We have what we need on this team. We're rocking and rolling. We can't trade Owen Casey because we don't have the backfill. Because then we might not have the backfill of Kyle Tucker's contract, because the Cubs might go cheap and they might not sign this dude. Even though he looks like a perfect Cub. He literally looks like a perfect damn Cub. All right? Can the Cubs win the World Series? Abso-freaking-lutely. Put it on the record. Abso-freaking-lutely. All right, teams got to stay together, keep grinding, keep winning series. You can't let one slide. We can't lose games when we're up 4-1 against the freaking Royals. All right, we know the Brewers are good, but let's be real. Like, I cannot wait for the next time we play the damn Brewers. Let's smash them. All right, that's my general take on the Cubs. We need that 5th starter. We don't need to give up our top guys. All right, let's change pace. Talk a little college football. All right, I'm going to college football preseason rankings. All right, I got a big bone to pick here with college football preseason rankings. You would think I would have Googled this beforehand. All right. I am stalling. Man, this is, ESPN is not what it used to be. ESPN used to be so easy to just look up stats. It's just not. And I was watching SportsCenter the other day. It was so freaking bad. I mean, literally, I'm so sick on SportsCenter of, like, feel-good stories. I just want to watch the highlights. I watch the Cubs, and I pretty much only watch the Cubs. Like, I'm not watching, other teams. I'm watching the Cubs game. But I want to see the highlights of other teams, and I don't want to click through YouTube every single damn video. Like, that's why SportsCenter was great. You go on, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, flip through SportsCenter, watch quick 30 minutes, you see everything that happened, now you're good to go. That doesn't freaking exist. Straight up. That doesn't freaking exist anymore. They got to talk about some sad story. And I'm like, dude, I've heard all the sad stories, man. I literally have heard every single sad story that there ever could be in life through ESPN, and I'm absolutely tired of it. Okay, I can't even find the pre-rankings right now of the college football 2026. Okay, here we go. That can't even be true. That can't, no, 2026, guys. 2026. Okay, the bottom line is Penn State has been ranked by many people as the top 1 team going in the preseason. And it just is like, what are we doing? I mean, what are we doing? Like, I can guarantee you right now, I would go on the record right now that Penn State will not win the national championship. Therefore, they should not be ranked number 1 going into week 1. And the reason why they're ranked number 1 is because they have a lot of guys coming back, specifically their quarterback. They got Drew Aller coming back. And people are really excited about Drew Aller. And people are like, wow, Drew Aller is going to be super good this year. Oh, he's going to be better this year than he was last year. And this is his year that he's really going to show people because, people are used to what he did, last year and the year before. But this is going to be a newer guy. This is going to be a more mature guy. He's going to know the system even more. He was a damn junior last year. He was a freaking junior last year. All these talking heads never watched tape. Maybe I'm coming off super cocky, and maybe I'm wrong. But here's the thing about Drew Aller that I don't like, and the reason, I'm a Ohio State fan. I went to IU, though, because I'm also an IU fan. Like, I have no fear in ever playing Penn State. Because, one, James Franklin's not that good of a coach. He's the most overrated coach in the league, in the Big Ten. And then also, Drew Aller doesn't make timely football plays. I've watched a lot of his tape, right? I had them losing to Oregon. I had them, beating whoever the hell they beat. That was a cupcake. Was it Boise State? And then I had them losing to Notre Dame. Why? Because Drew Aller isn't a consistent football player, and he doesn't take what the defense gives him. He plays way too cocky for me. Does he make incredible plays? Yes. But the bottom line is he's like 3-7 against like top-ranked teams. Never beat Ohio State. Lost to him twice. Never beat Michigan. And I'm pretty sure, and also never beat Oregon. So he hasn't beat any of the great teams in the Big Ten. And also didn't beat Notre Dame. And I think that's what it counts. You look at a guy from Notre Dame like Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard does not have the arm talent or some of the abilities that Drew Aller has naturally as a quarterback. But Riley Leonard's a winner. Riley Leonard gets things done. Riley Leonard understands what needs to happen when, and he targets what is needed and gets completions. He gets first downs with his legs. That's how Notre Dame went so far last year. Really solid defense, better defense than what most people thought they had. And Riley Leonard making Riley Leonard plays. And that's what Drew Aller hasn't had. So, I don't see him driving the bus to a national championship. I just don't see it. And I don't think James Franklin's as good as a coach. I think James Franklin's not even in the top 10 coaches in the college football. So you put those, think of right now, Georgia versus Penn State. Who do you like? Georgia. 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 Kirby Smart versus James Franklin. Georgia. I don't even know what Georgia's quarterback is this year yet. All right, and then the last thing I want to talk about college football-wise is I think this season could be huge for the Big Ten because this could mark that the Big Ten's going to go on a multiple year run, like a 10-year run of Big Ten football being officially better than the SEC. I think SEC obviously was better for close to 20 years. And I think with NIL and just the Midwest, honestly, it's East Coast, Midwest, and West markets now. I think the Big Ten's going to officially overpass the SEC, and it's mainly due to just economical reasons. And with that, the more money becomes better players with NIL, and more money also equals better coaching, more competitive conferences, which requires higher standards of excellence. All right, so we'll see what ends up actually happening, but my guess is, my two predictions, Penn State will not win a national championship. My other prediction is the Big Ten will win a national championship. Or they will probably most likely Ohio State, Oregon. Actually, I can't even say that. I think I would say that Big Ten will have a larger stamp on college football than they've ever had, and this trend will continually grow. How about that? All right, guys, appreciate you checking out the podcast. Thanks for being here once again. Sports with Chicago sponsorship. Shop.Beers by the Ivy. Get yourself a Beers by the Ivy hat, especially if you're a Cubs fan. But if you're not, it's just generally a cool hat. So yeah, appreciate the time, everyone. Take care. We'll be back soon. Peace.